How you doing, guys? Welcome to another stream where I'll be painting Let's Make It Okay, the Warboss from Gearguts Mekshop. I'm just finishing a few shares here and there to the various social medias I like to share, and I will be with you in a second. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'll be back very short. Mr. Jamjar34 first in there with the chat. Thank you very much for joining me, Jamjar. How are you? What are you working on today? Anything exciting? Or just chilling for the morning, as I like to on a Sunday morning. Got a new snazzy shirt on today. It's not overly snazzy, this one. But this was paid for by one Marcos Castellanos, and I picked up a couple more as well through using money from my Patreon, donated by a number of people. Marcos Castellanos, Frost and Fists, and Charon, to name a few. There is one more that always... I need to write these down, so I always forget one. But Dicey Guy is a new patron as well of mine, with a $1 pledge in the most recent month. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for donating on the Patreon. I've got a coffee on the go. Shard Speaker. Is that a thing, or is it Shard Spire? No, because that'd be Shade Spire I'm thinking of. Shard Speaker. What's Shard Speaker? I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that. Do you ever misplace a pot of paint or forget to take a pot of paint if you're going to a friend's house and you stupidly forget to take certain paints? I went to my friend's house this weekend and I forgot to take all my contrast paints, which is the majority paint that I use these days. So I went to paint. Actually, it's not a contrast paint, the one I wanted, but I store it with my contrast paints because it's really similar to a contrast paint. It's a Tesseract Glow. So I wanted that on Friday. It separates really badly, this. Like a lot of GW paints do. I think we all know that. Slanesh, right? Cool, nice one. Shard Speaker. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, so I went to paint at my friend's house on Friday and I'd completely forgotten to bring the paint I wanted. So I had to improvise and do my best to colour match. But because I'd forgotten my contrast paints, I also didn't have the red. for some reason, I've taken my reds out of my travel case that I like to travel with. And I got to my friend's house, didn't have any reds, didn't have any contrast paints. The things I wanted to do on the model were mainly reds and contrast paints. So I had to sort of improvise and do my best. Thankfully, not too long ago, I bought her a GW starter paint set and took her down some orcs. And there was a red in that I could use to improvise the red and try my best to colour match. But anyway, let's go to the desk down, shall we? Then we can see what I'm waffling on about. So, yeah, you'll notice some differences in colours perhaps here. Now, the green, the Tesseract Glow, is what's on the headphones here. And that's the Tesseract Glow. And then the green on the rim of the respirator is not Tesseract Glow. But I've done my best to colour match. I mixed up and the one on the chest plate as well is not Tesseract Glow. I mixed up tiny amounts of paints basically to try my best to colour match the Tesseract Glow. I can't remember what colours I used though, so hopefully I won't ever have to do that again. I used like a pale blue and I can't remember what green I used. Whoa, Marcos Castellanos! Welcome to the stream once again, supporting the channel like the bad boss you are. I've got a new snazzy shirt and everything just for you. So, went to Primark yesterday, picked up not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 snazzy shirts, courtesy of your good self and the other patrons. You'll be seeing them on future streams. Right, so yeah, as I was saying, I had to colour match the green. It's not too bad. I'm not mad at it. What I might do is go over with a layer of Tesseract Glow just to bring it a tad closer to the colour of the headphones there. And definitely Tesseract Glow on there if I'm going to keep that green. I'm not entirely sure I will. But I'm looking at these armour panels and I'm thinking I might want to keep a lot of them black. So I painted this wrist strap red as well using corn red to do my best to colour match this colour, which is Flesh Terror red. I think what Orkie does, if I remember rightly, basically she starts off with a base of corn or Mephiston red and then she builds up with like Wild Rider red or something like that. I should have really messaged her and asked her because I want to make it like as close to her red as possible. You'll also be pleased to know I've got another caramel or stroop waffle. Caramel waffle or stroop waffle on my coffee today. This is the Starbucks dark roast espresso coffee that I've used in this. Basically an Americano, 2 extra long coffees. Yes, so, hello wholesome people. Hello indeed, Marcos. The misadventures of Mr. Fish. Didn't realise your YouTube lives and Twitch lives were separated. Now I feel like I'm missing some quality. You're not missing any quality content. Perhaps missing content, but no quality here. No quality whatsoever. Don't you worry. Those are delicious. Oh yeah, they're lovely. I introduced them to someone on my stream on Friday, my Twitch stream on Friday. I think it was Sir Jacob, because he'd never seen them before. So I introduced them to him and he said they look amazing. So he's hopefully going to get himself some and have a fantastic experience in first consumption of them. Just ate a stroop waffle myself. Good lad, Mr. Fish. You get to watch me eat on stream. It's like 17 minutes past 7 in the morning here. Some people would say it's too early for a stream like this. It's too early for a stroop waffle. I say nay. It's never too early for a stroop waffle. It's never too early for a stream like this. I woke up at just before 6 o'clock and I'm laying in bed and I thought to myself, 1 a.m. in Texas. 1 a.m. in Texas. Fair enough. Yeah, I woke up and I thought to myself, 11:17 p.m. here. Mr. Fish, where are you? Are you in Hawaii or something, Mr. Fish? if you don't want to tell us your location, by the way. I always ask that and assume people are happy to talk about the location. But if there's anyone ever watching my streams that doesn't want to tell us your location, you don't have to. Washington State, and it's... Oh, to be fair, that's 2 hours difference from Texas, isn't it then? If it's 1 a.m. in Texas, and it's 11:17 Washington State, right? So you're like, you're West Coast then. Yeah, like Northwest, innit? That. Okay, cool. I'm an open book. You see, that's what I'm like. But I know some people don't like to talk about things like that on the streams and stuff like that. I'd tell you my address if I thought you were going to send me nice things. Not really. We'll have to get to know each other a little bit before I tell people my address. Or I have to be purchasing something off you. Or sending something to you. And I put a return address on it, so then you'll find out my address. Right. Once I finish this waffle, I shall be painting. And we can all have a nice chilled session together. Wow. Did anybody watch any of Dr. Rhino's stream yesterday? A fabulous, fabulous human being who was a big supporter of a rhino charity called the Rhino Foundation, I believe. And once a month he does a charity stream for said foundation. And Orky was on there early in the morning. Well, early in Rhino's morning. What time was it here? I think it was about 11 a.m. when he went live here. So that would make it... I don't actually know where Rhino is. Cincinnati, so that's what, near is that in California, Cincinnati, or am I wrong there? I don't know. So it's going to be roughly the same time zone as Mr. Fish, if it is. But I might be wrong about where Cincinnati is there. Ohio. So I was miles out. Many miles out. Yeah, I think he's in Cincinnati because I think he was talking about going to Cincinnati Zoo on his next month's live stream. And doing a live... what did he call it? Like a meeting experience with the rhinos. So you get into a boardroom and you have a nice meeting with them. All the rhinos are in there wearing suits. No, I mean where you meet the rhinos and you feed the rhinos and stuff like that. That kind of thing. Yeah, so I think he's doing that next month at Cincinnati Zoo. So that'll be really cool. Yeah, Ohio is central, same as Texas. So yeah, if it's 1 a.m. 1 a.m. in well, we're just rounding it off to 1 a.m. We're not saying it's actually 1 a.m. in Texas now. But yeah, if it's 1 a.m. in Texas now, then it's 6 hours time difference between here and there. So it would have been a 5 a.m. start for him yesterday morning. Assuming it was 11 over here when he started. Right. Six Plus Stevo is the mug of choice today. No pickle jar this week. I can't be supporting my rival Sunday morning streamers, can I? Although Pickle Jar is obviously an awesome channel, and make sure you check him out. For when I'm not live, you can watch him. Although I'm live most Sundays now. Right, I've got to find my stuff to start painting with. Let's have a quick spinneroony of Orky, see where she's up to. Got B on the back there. Still not got a base for this fella yet. Yeah. Right, that's looking half decent. Yeah, so Sunday morning, there's a slightly different vibe to my regular streams. Well, I say my regular streams, my Twitch streams. My YouTube streams are on Sunday mornings, typically. And the vibe is different because I'm just getting up. I don't want to be to lively in the morning, to in your face. So I have chilled music on instead of the rock music. Something just fell over in my living room and I don't know. I'm scared now that someone's going to come and murder me. You don't get murdered in the morning, do you? Not at 7:23 in the morning. No, it's all like nighttime murders happen, isn't it? I'll be fine. People often ask, here we go. Let's move this out of the way slightly, move that back, and we'll go to the opening stream. So people often ask about carrying your paints, transporting your paints, storing your paints. Personally, GW's storage solutions, I think this one in particular is very good. And I'll tell you why. It's expensive. All of GW's products are, in the expensive range on the market. But if you use their paints on a regular basis, this is perfect. So first off, you can take the lid off. It's a really nicely secure lid as well. It's got those different clips to the ones on their miniature carry cases, but it's clips nonetheless. So you can take the lid off and then you can use that as a tray, or you can just pop miniatures on it. You can use the top of it with a cutting mat on it to be your work surface if you want to, or the inside if you're having it on your lap and you don't want to risk stuff rolling away. Then we have in here GW's paint storage solutions, which you can just lift out like so. I mean, it's hard to do when you've got it on your shoulder like this, but you lift out like so, and then you've got more storage solutions for bigger pots of paint and stuff below. The fantastic morning, Grumpy Guy Gaming. Welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here as always. Another interesting thing, and again, this is if you're into GW paints. Or a couple of other interesting things. There's slots down the side here to keep your paintbrush. Now I've opened it on the wrong end, so I should have taken this tray out because my paintbrushes are in there. That's the whole reason I opened this case in the first place. So again, I'll just show you there. Take that out. You can store your brushes in the side there. There's 4 storage areas, very similar. I've got a pot of paint in there as well. Whoop. And I've got my makeup brushes, which didn't quite fit in the side, a little too chunky for the side there. Oh, more brushes in that side as well. So let's move that around. Grab these last 2 brushes if we can. They're a little hard to get to, like I said, with doing this live on stream and trying to show you on camera. My buddy has the big one that has the side insert for paper tools. Oh, for paper and tools. Side insert for paper and tools. I don't know which one that is. I can't get it out here, but let me show you one more thing. Painting handle, bang in the middle there. Made to purpose painting handle holding area. There's also these slots here where you can fit extra little bits. Very nice. I think that's a really good storage solution from GW. Before I grab those paintbrushes out, I just want to show you the underside of these trays. You can get these legs that slot into here, so it sort of sits at an angle on your desk, or you can slot them into these ones instead, so it sits at that angle on your desk. Like so you can see your paints clearly in front of you like that. You can pull out whatever colour you need. Really handy. Also, finally, it has these screw holes. So you can screw into the walls, put some screws in the walls or nails, whatever, and then you can just hang them on the walls. If you've got a tight hobby space, you're limited for desk space, but you've got like walls right in front of you and stuff. You might be at a computer desk like this, walls right in front of you. You've only got one monitor. You stick all your paints next to it, next to the other, where the other monitor would be in my streaming setup. Because I'm, extra, and I need all these extra monitors because I'm special. Let's grab these paintbrushes out now. Right, well, that's my advert for GW's painting solution, painting storage solution, paint storage solutions. There we go. Yeah, a lot of people don't use GW paint, so that'll be no use to them whatsoever. However, if you were to be a fan of the GW paints, I'm not going to lie, some of these paints, I can see one offending one immediately. That one's dried out, so I couldn't use that yesterday. GW's paint pots, I think what's happened is I've left my blind open one day, the sun shone on them, spent a day or two shining on them. And I've only realised one day when I've been in the house, it's probably spent a full week shining on them. I only realised one day when I've been in the house, so a weekend. Pardon me, a weekend probably. And yeah, I've realised the sun's shining directly onto my paint, so a number of my paints have dried out. Like completely separated. It's really irritating, but hey, I'll know for next time. And if it happens again with more GW paints, maybe I'll give up on GW paints eventually, and that paint storage solution will become useless to me. But we'll see. Let's get back to the desk down. We can see this Letsmakeitorkie miniature from Gearguts Mekshop once again. Oh no, we can't. We can see paintbrushes. It's the miniature. So it's a miniature I'm working on today. If you've just joined us, like Mr. Grumpy Guy Gaming. I thought I didn't have all my lights on them, but I do. It's okay. Right, so I'm thinking I'm going to go in and paint this up with Wazdaka Red, I think she might use, not Wild Rider. Is Wazdaka Red still a GW paint? And do I own it if it is? It is, and I do. Yeah, so Wazdaka Red, I'm going to go over the Corn Red with. Let me clear some of these things here on my Telefonica. Oh, that was a nice little click. Don't want that. Friend request from a lovely young lady. Wait a minute, what does it say on that picture? Join an established WhatsApp group. There are plenty of hot women in this group who need it. Need what? Need what? I don't know. What do they need, these women? So if you want a vulgar woman next to you, I don't like vulgar women. I like beautiful women. And, you know, women I find beautiful, that is, of course. Join our group because everything is free without money. Click here to arrow. Orky might refuse to do arrows for you, but I don't. I'll remove that friend request. I don't think that's going to be of any use to me. Boom! Let's get working on the big boy. The big boss. The Letsmakeitorkie Warboss. G the Hyper Sapien. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Pleasure to have you here. As always. I am working on Orky today. I think G's come in at the ara moment. So let's crack on and finish the. I say finish, hesitantly say finish this Orky Warboss. Like I said, I don't have a base for it yet. I may well end up using one of the Citadel bases. Oh man, I'm here hitting up metallics. Lol, finally finished all my camo, so just got to do all the weapons, wires, and Dakar. Nice one. Looking a bit flash, thank you very much. Got a new snazzy shirt on today. Do you mean me or the miniature, actually? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, so I want to Wazdaka Red on that. What I will do first, actually, is grab my box of bases because I want to test it out on a base. Even if I'm not going to use the base that I choose today, I want to test it out on a base, see if I can get these to line up right, basically. The Orky miniature and the B miniature. If I can get them to line up right, then I know I'm on the right size base. I think some people have purchased 50mm bases for these Gearguts Warbosses because they're slightly too big for the 40mm base that the GW Warboss comes on. But it looks like the new Mega Armored Warboss from GW is going to come on a 50mm base, probably. Just judging on sort of scale size, using the Drunken Orcs scale measuring method by taking the grot on the Mega Armored Warboss's shoulder, putting a 25mm base on him, and then photoshopping him into the image so you can fit two of the grot's bases across the Warboss's base. Minis Flash, you're a sexy beast. Well, thank you very much, G. Thank you very much indeed. Right, finished my coffee. What's that about? Dreading putting this coffee down. And then I'm going to nip into the other room, and grab my bases, and then I'll be back with you. So I might as well just go to the be back soon screen, and I'll see you shortly. I'm back. Way. Do you like that momentary double band that I tend to have? So I've got these GW, classic GW, I say classic GW, the Sector Mechanicus sort of basing set. Yeah, I wasn't going to use one of these, but I may well end up using one. Because I can make it work with my, basing theme. But I was initially just going to use these for like some Imperial miniatures. Right. Wait a minute. Is that a 60mm base? That looks tiny. I don't know why. All of a sudden in my head, this base looks tiny, like a 60mm base. I'm going mad, I think. Slowly going mad. And we've got these two. So that one. That one. I'm tempted by that one, I think. Or that one. I like that one though as well. And I can cover up a bit more of it. No, I'll go with that one, I think. Right, let's clip it off. Then we can get an idea of what we want to do. Fancy, fancy indeed. So everybody in the chat, Mr. Fish is working on something. He's hitting up metallics and finishing all his camo. So got to do all the weapons, wires and Dakar. Awesome stuff. G, are you working on anything? And Marcos, your fine self, are you working on anything today? This early morning that we have you? Or are you in work? And who else was in the chat? Grumpy Guy, are you working on anything right now? Let me finish this coffee. And then begin. Just realised I've got no water here. I don't know where I've left it. I think it might be in my bedroom. But we don't need it right away, do we? I've been editing a video. Awesome stuff. What's the content of the video, G? Don't have to share. But feel free to let us know what the content of that video is. Just a rough idea. I don't want you to basically spoil the whole video. Anyone else trying to get the boy for Discord? To get the boy for Discord, I'm doing a pain boy. Ah, right, okay. And is so close to, and I'm so close to finishing. I'm doing a pain boy as well, but the conversion, the kit bash I've done is still all separate parts, and I'm not going to have the time today to work on it, so it would mean next weekend I'd have to work very frantically on it. So what I might do today, after doing a bit on this fellow on stream, is paint 16 Zombicide minis. We'll see though. We'll see how I get on with that, because quite often I say things like that and I'm like, nope. Morning, Rich Beeden. Welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here. Are you yourself working on anything at the moment? I just arrived to the job site. No worries, Marcos. Feel free if you need to lurk. Feel free to lurk. And if you need to shut your phone down completely as well, of course. Work comes first, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's not all about hobby work, is it? Although we would love it to be, yeah. So it is like decent size base. Yeah, so basically they're going to be, if I stand B, the miniature behind, right on the edge of the base, that should work. But it means Orkie's going to be really far forward on the base, which might look a bit odd. However, It's like a little diorama I've made of these two miniatures, with one following the other, and playing the video game at Friday night. Five Nights at Freddy's, not Friday Night at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's. As they walk into battle. Okay, I can just envisage as well, because she's so engrossed in the game. I can just envisage this one behind. It looks like she's stomping along, doesn't it? So I can just envisage her, not realising when Orky stops, and she just walks right into the back of her. Boom! And falls on a botty. On a bot. On a booty! I feel like I need that water already now. Let's try and get a bit of painting done first, though. Move that glue out the way. Oh, I could paint some grots instead. Should I paint some Zombicide miniatures? I mean, I might paint 8 Zombicide miniatures. Then I might work on some more of these grots, you know. Some of these 2nd edition grots, just to get more grots into my army. Because I feel like now is the right time for grots. Especially organised, ordered grots, and grots that are really dedicated to shooting and performing on the battlefield. Was decorate, was decorate, wiggling and a walking, a squiggling and a scroll. Ooh, baby, that's what I like. What a strange man. What a strange man indeed. So Wazdaka Red looks very pinky to me. But I trust in the red, trust in the dackiness of it and the waziness of it. I think I need to thin that down just a tad more. Because I just want it to be very thin, so when I sort of apply it to this wristband, it doesn't completely change the colour. Yeah, that's alright, I think. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. I might not like it. Morning, Gary. Welcome to the stream once again. Good to see you popping in on this semi-regular basis, you do. That's very bright, that. I may well change this wristband once I've painted this Wazdaka on and it's dried. I may be tempted to change it to paint the red that's on here over the top of it, the Flash Terror red, but we'll see. Are you working on anything this morning, Gary? Or is it a nice chilled stream for you, where you'll be just having me on in the background while you get the breakfast ready, something like that? What's everybody, if it's breakfast time for people? I mean, obviously, we know it's not for the majority of the people in the chat, in fact. But if it's breakfast time for people, what's everybody having for breakfast? Jam Jar as well. Jam Jar's working on some Slanesh. I just remembered Jam Jar was here. And I meant to Google what that model was he mentioned. Because I don't know the names of most of the new Slaneshi models. I just tend to know what other people have called them. I miss breakfast and lunch. So then, G, if you miss breakfast and lunch, unless you've had like your evening meal, if you had food now, that will be breakfast. So, you know, that's all. You know, you're literally breaking fast. So that's all I'll say to you. So you have something now. It's breakfast. Yes, working on getting up. That is the hardest job of the day for many hobbyists, I think. The more I watch your videos, Gary, and the more I watch Modelling for Advantage videos as well. They do a weekly hobby hangout video on a Tuesday evening. It's a little late for me, so often I watch it the next day. Similarly to how you watch my vids the next day, Gary, typically, or a lot of the time, not typically. Yeah, so modelling for advantage in yourself, the more I watch your channel and their channel, they do historical stuff as well. They do like modern wars, but they also touch on, or they have guests on at least, that cover other eras of combat, of wars. So like they feature and touch on things like Roman legions, SPQR or whatever it's called. I don't know what that game's called, but they touch on that kind of stuff, and they touch on Wars of the Roses, and you know, basically battles and wars from all different eras. And the more I watch your channel and their channel, the more tempted I am to just, if nothing else, just what's going on with that? Oh, it's just I messed up on the silver. Looking at that shining bit of silver there, I thought it was a bit of bare resin, like I'd snapped a piece or something, but it's not. It's okay. Yeah, so they cover historicals, and when I see your videos with your miniature painting updates and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you know what? Some of those miniatures look amazing. Fancy getting my hands on some of them, just to have a little change of pace from what I do with my 40k stuff typically. And occasional zombie side content. Right, we're going to leave that to dry and then see how it looks. I think it's going to look not too far off the Flash Terror red on the shirt, to be fair. And that's the colour I'm going for, so we may well be satisfied with that. I feel like they say you should do triangles of colour, and we've got red, red, red. However, I feel like a bit of red over here on this knee pad will improve that. Come to the dark side, my friend. I may well. The Dark Ages side, perhaps. I just had a crab bake with crab, sausage, shrimp, corn, and potatoes. Amazing. I'll be honest, not a huge fan of crab. I'll eat anything people put in front of me, but I find it... well, no, I've only tasted tinned crab, so I can't really comment on it. But I find it incredibly flavourless. That and asparagus I find flavourless. I don't understand why people eat asparagus. It's just like, it's flavourless to me. However, yeah, it's weird how some people can really taste certain flavours and some people can't. I find that anyway, myself. Remember to hit that like button, loads, lads and ladettes, not loads and ladettes. Thank you very much, G, for that reminder. Right. But should we just try and go straight in with the Wazdaka red on that knee pad? You know what? I've got a lot of Wazdaka red here. I'm going to do that. Instead of putting the layer of corn red down, just going to go straight in with the Wazdaka. I feel like I'm sort of stippling to the beat there, like. Gotta try real crab, but not tin stuff. Yeah, there's no. I'm not in a mad rush to try it. I don't typically love shellfish in general. I like prawns and that, but in general I don't typically love shellfish. So I'm in no great rush to try it. But when I see it on I'm pretty sure I've actually had like fresh crab as well in a restaurant. But you know, not have my socks blown off by it, so felt no real need to seek out fresh crab for myself to cook at home or anything. I don't know whether to leave that. No, well, I've done it red now. I was going to say, I don't know whether to leave that black, and then as I was saying it, I've put a bit of red on there. I'm going to leave a bit of black around the edges of that, and I'll tell you for why. Because I like, on Orky paint schemes, I like it looking like they've slapped it on, they've not taken any great care, but also, if they have If they've painted it and it's metal, then they're going to bump into things. They're going to use all of the parts of the body as weapons and whatnot. So it's going to be, yeah, I think that red really balances it out as well now. Nice, a nice triangle of colour there, as they say. Yeah, so if they're using the whole body as weapons, orcs, in my mind at least, so they will sometimes just they'll intentionally smash the knee into something to try and take it down, and you know, a bit of a chip in here and there. Let the colour underneath, the black, or if you do metallic first or whatever, let that show through. Then that's all good in my opinion. Look, it's the handsome one doing a gorgeous stream. Well, thank you very much, Pickle Jar. Thank you very much indeed. Pleasure to have you here as always. You know what I'm going to do? On that note, as soon as Pickle Jar shows up, I'm going to end this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to end the stream. I'm going to be back soon because I'm going to put another coffee on. I'm going to run upstairs and grab my water that I left upstairs. And yeah, I will be back soon because I've just finished that little bit of red on the knee, and I feel like that's a good place to press that pause button. Before I go though, just a quick question for you guys. How do you feel? How do you feel about the weathering on this blade? I want it to look like a really roughly cut blade. So I want it to look like the majority of the blade is all like sort of corroded away like rough metal. You know, if you ever watch Forge with Fire, I don't know if you ever watch it, but if you ever watch Forge with Fire, sometimes they use like scrap metal to forge a blade, or a lot of the time, really. They use scrap metal to forge a blade, and it sort of looks like all pockmarked with corrosion and stuff like that. So I've gone for that here. What I did, I stippled the metallics over the black. So I stippled bolt gun metal, I think it was, over the black. Might have been lead belcher, not sure. Over the black. So I left a lot of the black showing through. And then I took a wash of the GW shades, Agrax Earthshade, mixed with Fugue and Orange. I think I took 2 parts Fugue and Orange to 1 part Agrax Earthshade. So it gives it like an orangey look to it. Now I turn that there, you can see the bottom of the blade's clean. I'm gonna even brighten that bit of the blade up, especially the edges, with Stormhost Silver or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted it to look like, because normally I go in just with Agrax Earthshade and it'd look like dirty and dark, or maybe a mix of Null Oil and Agrax Earthshade. It'll look dirty and dark, like a really dark steel you get sometimes. And it can look really good with really dark steel, especially on like armour and stuff. But yeah, I tried something a little different with the Fugue and Orange and the Agrax Earthshade to try and make it look sort of like this part of the blade is just starting to rust and corrode, but this part is still lethal kind of thing. Let me know in the chat what you think of it. Well, Pickle says the blade looks spot on. Thank you very much indeed. And a gorgeous shirt. Yeah, you can have a closer look at this soon. I'll come back with my brew and we can take a closer look at this shirt. It's got a few Honolulu lolly 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 ladies on. But I'll be back soon. Welcome back to the stream, guys. Yeah, so here's the shirt, a little closer up. You can see the ladies doing a little dance on it with their grass skirts and everything, and the little ukulele. So they're singing along and doing a little dance. 6 Plus Evo, welcome to the stream, my friend. Pleasure to have you here. Let's go back to the desk down and see what this stream is all about. It's the Let's Make It Orky Warboss miniature from Gearguts Mekshop. Let's get painting. She got a little mate there in the back. That is Be the Little Mermaid, another Twitch streamer, friend of Let's Make It Orky. They're going to be part of like a diorama base, these miniatures. I'm going to put them on a 60mm base, which is this size here. You can see just by comparing it to the slightly you can't see because my hands are completely in the way. What a useless buffoon. I feel like I failed you all. Let's zoom out of it and then be able to... Are we zooming out? Wow, come on. Good. Morning, Nick Tomlin as well. Welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here. You guys have just joined us. Are you working on anything or are you getting prepped for the day? So you can see there roughly. It's a big base for this Warboss miniature. However, these Gearguts Warboss miniatures are very big. They sort of overhang a 40mm base. So I'd recommend at least a 50mm base. Now 50mm base, Eisenhorn! Nobody expected the Inquisition, did they? Nobody did. But look who's here. It's Eisenhorn. Welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here. Yes, so these Gearguts Warboss miniatures are very big. They slightly overhang in a similar way to the way the boys used to on a 25mm base. Some of these Warboss miniatures from Gearguts slightly overhang a 40mm base, which is your typical GW Warboss base size. However, there is a new 50mm base that GW have started using, which I think the new Warboss in Mega Armor is going to be on. So if we can, I mean, you can get them from people already, 50mm bases. Yeah, so I'd base these Gearguts miniatures at least on 50mm bases. Mine are all going to go on 60mm bases because that's what I've got a bit of. And I've ordered some 60mm bases from Warmaster's Forge as well. A friend of mine from the Let's Make It Orky Discord and her live chat in the streams is a fellow mod on Orky's channel. Morning coffee before I head to work with a bit of a hangover. Steve-O, you're old enough to know better. Don't have a bit of a hangover when you got work the next day. Like, don't have too much to drink when you got work the next day, man. Come on. You're old enough to know better. Yeah, so basically, one thing I'd say is get yourself a 50mm base at least if you're going to be grabbing some of these Gearguts Warboss miniatures. They're all pretty similar in size. They're bigger than... I've got Snickrot here to compare. And I did have, but I must have put it back in the cabinet, the Assault on Blackreach Warboss. So Snickrot, for all you Orky fanboys out there, is like slightly smaller than most Warbosses, really, Snickrot. But he's a big lad. He's like a large knob. I've got... here's something completely not useful for you. A 2nd edition boy to compare him to. I've also got a 2nd edition Gretchen on hand to compare him to, which are roughly... these are on 25mm bases, so you can say these are roughly the same size as the modern Gretchen. Grots. Oh my word! Eisenhorn, thank you so much for that very generous super chat, I was going to say, which is French for cat. It's not the past tense of defecate. Thank you so much for that very generous super chat. No one expects the Inquisition. Beautiful paint job. Thank you very much indeed. You warm the cockles of my heart with such lovely compliments. Let's Make It Orky Boss looks cool. It really does, mate. It looks... I'm going to say, Steve, controversial, saying it to the man himself. Looks better than the Steve-O one, in my opinion. I'm sure you don't mind me saying. Or, I've just started... That alert was well late. Or, I've just started a massive feud with 6 Plus Steve-O. But don't worry, Steve-O. One thing I'll add to that is, a little caveat, I do have the Steve-O Warboss ready to rock and roll in the near future. But yeah, it's a big boy boss, as the Gearguts bosses all are. If you took Gaz out of his armour, I'd say he's about the same size. Just a rough estimation. But I'm not sure. I am definitely too old for this. Is it better than the Skarne one, though? I think yes. Honestly, this is my favourite one. The Skarne one's fantastic when he's talking to the hologram. I've got all the 4 war bosses as well. I've got to add that. You know, I'm not playing favourites here. But I'm playing favourites because I'm telling you who my favourite child is. And this is definitely my favourite child. Yeah, so I'd say this is better than the Skarne one. The Skarne one's gorgeous. The dim one with the snots and the grots sort of hanging off him. I love that one too. And of course the Dread one is he's got his big he's Dread. I tell you what, one thing that can never not be said about Dread is he's got a big chopper, hasn't he? We can all admit that Dread's got a big chopper, and that's all you need in life. Do I have the Roxy one? Well, of course I have the Roxy one. I couldn't get you guys and leave Roxy out, could I? Yeah, the Roxy one's nice as well. What I really like about the Roxy one is, looks like she's got no gun. Look, when you at first glance, it looks like she's got no gun, but then you take a second look and you look at that leg, and it's like, whoa! I'll tell you what, I will give you a quick whistle-stop tour of these Warboss miniatures I'm talking about now, if I don't destroy my mic in the process. So here's the Orky one. We can see that. Let's make it Orky Warboss. Well painted. Dread will be loving it. He absolutely would be loving this. I've heard many a whispered conversation as I walk through the mean streets about Dread. And those whispers often contain the words Pig and Chopper. I can't comment on Dread's chopper. Have you never seen Dread's chopper, mate? You've never seen it. Come on. Right, so these lads are large. I don't know where all their arms are, though. They must be in one particular bag. Again, Eisenhorn, I want to say, I kind of like got distracted by the conversation. I want both this one and the Skarne one. They're beautiful, aren't they, Marcos? But Eisenhorn, I got distracted by the conversation again, didn't I? I just want to reiterate how much a donation like that means to me, because it can help me get another snazzy shirt in the future, but it can also help me improve my setup. Apparently, his nickname back home is Tripod. Yes, can't comment on that, but perhaps you are right. Yes, so the donations to the channel, whether it's through a super chat or a donation to my Patreon, they're all going into bettering the channel and bettering me as a human being. No, they're going into bettering the channel, improving the channel, and I'm looking at getting an editing PC, basically. If I get an editing PC, the processing power, or upgrading my PC, I'm not fully decided yet. But that would mean having to do a bit of work on it myself, and I'm a bit nervous of that because I've never done anything like that. But if Henry Cavill can do it, I can do it, right? So, yeah, I may well upgrade 1 or 2 things on my PC rather than getting a dedicated editing PC. And yeah, all the money from Patreon and the super chats and from the Twitch subscriptions as well, all goes back into the channel one way or another. If you want it to go towards a snazzy shirt, you can tell me specifically. Or there are pledge levels on Patreon where I can pick up a snazzy shirt with the donations. But yeah, I really, really do appreciate it. It's very special to see people donating and supporting the channel like that. Oh, this Steve-O one's... My Steve-O one came... Oi! Essex boys, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here. Yeah, my Steve-O one came built. So here's Steve-O. Here's Steve-O. He's a wonderful charging warboss, charging across the battlefield into battle. He's got this ginormous claw. That is a beautiful claw. And this 4-barreled shooter. What kind of... I was going to call him a flash kit then. What kind of bad moon would he be if he didn't have one of the biggest... Words are hard. What kind of bad moon would he be if he didn't have the biggest, flashiest shooter? Look at it. It's a 4-barrel. It is good enough to rival any flash kit, in my opinion. I think you could probably proxy that for like Captain Badrook if you wanted to. If you wanted to use the Captain Badrook rules. Because look at that shooter, man. Beautiful. But anyway, yeah, Warboss Steve-O there. Lovely. Oh, as well. You know what? I've never noticed these horns protruding from the belt there, Steve-O. Only just noticed that now. Fabulous. And of course the 6+ on the shin guard there, so you know exactly which Warboss it is. And on the shoulder pad too. Skeletons mounted on the shoulder pad. Fantastic stuff. Oh, I've just realised it snapped on the my saw blade there on the claw has snapped, so I can take some time to repair that at some point. I wonder if it's snapped off into the bag or if it's elsewhere. I can't see it in the bag there, although I've not always put these back in the right bags, I'll be honest. So left-handed claw, just saying, it's a conspiracy. So that's the 6+ Steve-O fella. We'll save Roxy to last, because I want to take a nice close look at Roxy, because I like the Roxy one. I mean, I like them all, to be honest. But yes, the Roxy one. So here's Dread with his big chopper. Look at the size of that chopper he's got there. Absolutely marvellous looking tool he's got. He's whipped it out. He's chucked it over his shoulder and he's marching into battle. Oh, I'm gonna crump ya. So, Dread Wargaming. A lovely Warboss. A nice simple pose. He's not actually marching into battle. He's more like just waiting for the battle to come to him. He's patient, this lad. He's cunning. He's brutal. And look at these two shooters mounted in the back there. One thing I'd say, imagine this lad trying to reach these shooters here. How's he going to get to that shooter? Those shoulder pads are massive. He's gonna have to dislocate his shoulder, grab the shooter, and then relocate his shoulder, which I'm sure, you know, orc physiology, I'm sure works differently to human physiology. So maybe you can do that really easily without. I mean, I know there are humans that could do that, but yeah, it's the chopper there. The shooters in the back, they are a little hard to reach, but that chopper more than makes up for it, doesn't it? And anyway, you can probably get a little runt to grab the shooters for him as well. With the extra teeth in his hand there. Beautiful. Big damn flash kit. His snazzy shirts, exactly. I am a bit of a flash kit. Whoa! Don't tell Dread. Nick Tomlin painting his Dread Warboss as an evil son. Do not tell Dread. He will not be happy. It was designed to be Dread Shiny Shooter. Oh, the Dead Shiny Shooter. Right, sorry. Yeah, so it's the Dead Shiny Shooter, so it is one of the snazziest weapons out there. We'll go next for Dim. So Dim is basically a large runt herd Warboss. Where's his there it is. Where's his other claw is what I was going to say. His other arm. So it's basically like a runt herd style Warboss. Dim is a big fan of the hobby get. Big fan of runts, grots, the grot revolution and whatnot. So he's got these snotlings slash grots. I mean, that one's a bit large to be a snotling, isn't it? But these ones on the other side, that's I think I'd say that's snotling size there. These little snots, these runts, these grots. He's got them hanging onto his armour as he marches across the battlefield. He's got a claw there. He's got a grabber stick there. It's almost like you could use this lad as Zogwart. Just saying, because Zogwart's got the he's got a grabber stick at one end and grot prod at the other end. So you could use. To be fair, I feel like that claw, in my head, you want to use that as a grabber stick, and you'd change the head on that and use that as a grot prod. Put something sharp or zappy at the end of it, whatever. But yeah, there's like a claw-like look and a grabby-like look. But yeah, you can clearly use him. He's Warboss size. He's a bit big to be a runt herd anyway, isn't he? He's Warboss size, so you want to be using him as a Warboss, basically. So you've got a claw and a scorcher built into the claw there. Absolutely fantastic design. Love all the dags on the armor panels and whatnot. The beard hanging down there looks wonderful, and the mohawk, fantastic stuff. Let's move on then. Let's move on to Skarni. Steve-O is the big deal, but Skarni is the main event. That is what Dim is planning. Oh, that's what Dim's planning to use him as. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, I think it kind of works with the claw and the grabby stick, because it kind of looks similar in that way then to Zogwart. And I'm guessing Dim wouldn't be a fan of the new Zogwart. I love the new Zogwart myself. I'm guessing Dim wouldn't be a fan. So this is Skarnir, the thinking man's Warboss. He's communicating with whoever he's communicating with. It looks like a boy, to be fair. Yeah, it's one of the bruisers in miniature form on the little hololith projector there. He's talking to him, giving him the orders from the distance. He's a thinking man's Warboss. He's taking pot shots with his twin-barreled shooter, and he's not even looking because he's concentrating on giving orders for the battle. He's got this mechanical arm here rather than the claw. You know, he's not all about crumping. He's about thinking as well as crumping. This is the thinking man's Warboss. He's almost got that thinking man. What's that sculpture, that statue called? Where the guy's sat on the chair and he's got his head on his fist like that. It's like a thinking man's pose. Ordering pizza, is that what he's called? No, I don't think so. Zogrud. I love the shooter claw. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Could Dim be standing for Zogrod Wartsnagger? Exactly. I think that's what we're all thinking. I think that's what Dim's using him as. Scar's boss is fantastic. Really is fantastic. Dice Skull Studios, welcome to the stream. I think it's called is it just called the Thinking Man? Yeah, so this is the Thinking Man's Warboss. He's got that Captain Morgan pose with one leg perched on there. It's almost as if his elbow's resting on his knee there, and he is doing that Thinking Man pose. But he's talking to one of the boys across the battlefield, telling him he better get his boys in. Talk to one of the knobs, telling him he better get his boys in gear and get that objective secured. Whatever he's talking about. All while taking pot shots at his enemies. Now this one, the Roxy one. Roxy, the river. You're a bit slow. Who's a bit slow? Yeah, Fungus Pizza on Throwblower. Throwblower on the old blower. Pondering why. He's got to do some thinking, hasn't he? Well, he doesn't even need to think. It just comes to him naturally to give the orders out. So this is a Roxy the River Warboss, and this is a particular favourite of mine. It looks as if she's got no weapons, and she's just going to tear the enemy apart with her bare hands, which I really like the idea of anyway. Like that Berserker Orc kind of idea. You can use this. It's a bionic arm. No doubt you can easily say, well, that's a power claw right there, which most people like for the Warbosses. But yeah. It's a bionic arm, so if you didn't want to use it as a power claw, you could. She's got no choppers on her, but you could mount a chopper on her somewhere, and say she's got a chopper instead. However, she does have a shooter, like I said earlier. It's on her leg. What was that film called with? I think it was Rose McGowan, wasn't it? Where she had a gun for her leg. Was it Planet? Was it? I don't know what it was called, but anyway, yeah. So there's the Roxy the River one. Absolutely fantastic looking miniature. Love this one, me, with the shooter for the leg. Beautiful, beautiful work from Gearguts. Anyway, I'll get round to them eventually at some point. You'll see some of them, no doubt, throughout the year on these streams as I start running out of miniatures to paint and need to paint some big lads up. Planet Terror, thank you very much, Mr. Fish. I knew someone would know their name. I wanted to call it Planet Apocalypse, but I thought that doesn't sound right. Oh, and Eisenhorn as well. You got there first. 1,000 useless talents. Let's get back to the Orky boss, shall we? So, got that triangle of colour with the red there now. Shirt. What do you call them when you don't want to call them bracelets? Manacle. And knee pad there. So we've got that pop of the triangle of colour there. Got the Warboss in the background, hiding behind Orky really, playing Five Nights at Freddy's on Orky's back. I don't know if I want to change this. I'm quite happy with that looking the way it looks at the moment, so I think I'll leave it for the time being. Spanner. The spanner looks suitably mottled. What I might do is wash the spanner the same way I've washed the sword. So get some Fugan Orange and some Agrax Earthshade and start working on that spanner now, I think. Wristband, yeah, could be called a wristband. Bangles, perhaps. Deathproof was also legit. Have I seen... You know what? I'm not sure I've actually seen Planet Terror all the way through. Or Deathproof. Deathproof. I was about to say proof. I don't know why. With a TH. If you're confused as to what I'm saying there. Oh, I've got a really itchy eye all of a sudden. That was my idea, to put the Planet Terror gun leg on her. We were in chat with Kyle as he designed it. Yeah, we were in Orkie's Discord. A lot of people were in the chat quite often when Kyle was designing the Orkie miniature. It was good fun having. I had Kyle in my watching the stream the other day when I think last Monday it was when I was painting this Warboss. So it was good having him there, so I could ask him questions about the miniature and stuff as I was working on it. Bangladesh. How many orcs have I painted this year? Honestly, Marcos, I've no idea. I've painted a fair few zombies. I've painted at least 130 miniatures so far this year. I'm like 7 days behind now. But I'm going to be painting some zombies after this, and I might paint some grots, so there will be something orky in there for you. Orcoid, shall we say, in there for you. You know, we won't want to be saying grots are too orky. You'd be getting ideas above the station. Yeah, so I'm roughly a week behind on my 365 painting challenge. And I'm hoping to do some catching up today. And fingers crossed, get out in front, because I want to work on my my Pain Boy for the Mayhem Challenge from the Let's Make It okay from the Warhammer 40k Orc Community Challenge. Well, hey, every month, if you're not a member of the Warhammer 40k Orc Community, you can go to the Facebook page or the Discord. Yes, my G's! Welcome to the stream, Mr. Chilling Wargamers. I'm going to sneeze now. No, resist! Okay. Yes, so, if you're not already a member of said Warhammer 40k Orc Community, feel free to join. Every month there's a challenge. This is going to be the first one I take part in, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so I've taken part in a challenge in the 40k Orc community before. But it was before, I think it was before they were official monthly challenges. I took part in a small vehicle challenge that Scarnair initiated a while back. I don't know if that was actually 40k Orc community. It might have been just on Scarnair's channel. I'm not sure, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, so this is going to be the first one I'm taking part in. I'm actually building. Now, if I get booted out of the competition, that's fine. It's fine. Or if I can't win it because it's actually slightly outside the rules, that's fine too. Because I'm just using it as motivation to build a miniature I want to build. I'm building a Pain Boss, not a Pain Boy. I'm using the Pain Boy as a basis for the miniature, so I'm taking the torso, one of the legs, and... Oh no, actually, none of the legs. I'm taking the torso, chopping both legs off, and making him into a more dynamic Pain Boss. Swapping a head out, taking an arm from a Blood Bowl Orc, or potentially an AOS Orc. Not fully decided on that yet. And I'm adjusting that Pain Boy claw. Basically, I'm taking the forefinger and the thumb from the Pain Boy claw and chopping the rest of it off and just using them two bits as the Pain Boy claw. Thank you very much, Essex Boys, for the 40k Orc community on Facebook link. I will get the Discord up now, actually, because... I'll get a link to the Discord. 40k Orc community. Where is it? I always forget where the invite button is on these things. Do you click on that again or something? No. Settings, Footscape or community. Notifications, enter privacy settings, hide muted channels, leave server. It's so frustrating using Discord sometimes because I swear they change little things. Because I can't find the invite people group to the Discord. Invite people thing. If somebody wants to walk me through that in the chat, feel free, and then I can invite people. I did work out how to do it yesterday, but I've completely forgotten now. Completely forgotten how to invite people to a Discord. I'm clicking on the name of the channel, and it doesn't come up. It just comes up with notification settings, privacy settings, hide muted server, and leave server. So what I'm going to do, if anyone wants to walk me through that, feel free to do so, and I'll work on the miniature I've got in front of me here. And yeah, let's get back to dirtying this up. What I'm going to do on this spanner, I think I did a 2-to-1 mix of Fugan Orange and Agrax Earthshade, but what I'm going to do this time is a 2-to-1 mix of Agrax Earthshade and Fugan Orange. Just change it up slightly because I feel like on the knife it's slightly too orange perhaps, that rust effect that I've done there. So I'm going to change it up slightly, make it a bit more browny than orangey. So let's take the Fugan Orange. Steve-O's got to get to work, so have a great day at work, mate. Pleasure to have you here for the time you could stay. Come back soon. Come back soon. There we go. Essex Boys are sorting out the Discord link for everyone. So in the chat now, there's a link to the Orc 40k community Discord and a link to the Orc 40k community Facebook page. So you can join in and join in the monthly challenges if you want to do so, if you're not already a member. And Marcos has just dropped a link to the Discord as well. So you can click on either of those two links. They should work just fine for you. Oh my giddy ants. I feel like I've used a bit much Fugan Orange there. Just got a big dollop of it out. Oh, and I just realised I mixed it in with that Wazdaka Red, but hopefully it's dry by now, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's grab the Agrax Earthshade. We want 2 of these. 1. 2. Well, it's still very orange, but it's a bit less orange than it was on the other side. The way I'm applying this, I'm just like sort of stippling it on into areas I want it to look darky dark. What I'll do though probably is go back in and highlight up the areas that I want it to look like she's either used the weapon to hit things with. The only thing I'm worried about here is, will this end up looking too close to this colour on the back? It may well do. Taking B off the base here because she's a little bit in the way. This is if you're new to the channel or new to the idea of what the hell is that? This is an Uwu Orc. Basically, it's based on a Twitch streamer, a friend of Letsmakeitorkie's, called Be the Little Mermaid. Her best friend, some might say. I mean, I'd stake my claim to that role. But yeah, her best friend. Yeah, debatable. So this is based on Be the Little Mermaid. There's a few little key indicators as to who this is. The headset being one of them, that cat ears headset that gamer girls like to have. She's a gamer girl, you see. She plays a lot of horror games. She's got a Totoro tattoo on this arm. She's got a Spirited Away tattoo on that arm. She got loads more tattoos, but I thought I'd just pick out a couple. She's also got the pad in hand, the gamepad in hand, and she's just following the Warboss round. So she's following Orkie around. One thing as well about this Warboss miniature, this Orkie Warboss miniature, doesn't have a shooter. Handily, the Be the Little Mermaid miniature does have a shooter, so she's her own personal shooter. So there we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go all over this spanner. I think. Yeah, I was gonna try and avoid the edges, but I'll try and avoid the edges a little bit. But I can re-highlight those edges to make it look like she's been crumping stuff with the edges and twisting knobs. That's not right, is it? Knobs, twisting nuts. Yeah, so she's been twisting nuts and bolts and whatnot with this wrench. It's not a spanner, it's a wrench. A spanner's adjustable, isn't it? I think. Nah, I think it is a spanner actually. I don't know the definition of a spanner and a wrench, I'll be honest. I'm not a very good man. That's why I'm a boy. Great touching in. Off out now. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one, Gary. Have a very pleasant day. I hope you get done what you need to get done. Don't forget to hit that like button, peeps. Thank you very much, Essex, for reminding the lovely folk that have tuned into this stream. If anyone wants to join the 40K community, it is best to search for it in Facebook and answer the membership questions. It's been that long since I've joined the 40K community. Does anyone remember what the membership questions are? Is it just what I feel like it's what faction, what clan are you? It's one of those, you know, sift through the sort through the bots questions, isn't it? A bot probably wouldn't know the answer to what clan are you. A suitable answer. Oh, it's 8:30. I've been going for an hour and a half almost. Did not even realise. So that is nice and rusted looking now. Yeah, but we'll bring it back up to make it look a bit more silver. Like, she does actually care for her tools to an extent. We don't want it to look too I don't want it to look too damaged. Just like, you know, she sort of cares for them a little bit. Right. I think what I want to do now is wash some of the other metallics. Oh, the stitches. I don't know what colour to do the stitches on the arm here. What colour do you think, guys? Feel free to let me know in the chat. I'm thinking like an off-white, something like a screaming skull, or even the old school bleached bone perhaps. But would you think it'd look better with a dark colour? It may well. Let me know in the chat what you think. Not sure they had a question on Facebook when I joined. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been that long since I joined. I'm not sure they did. Accidentally right-clicking. Like an absolute plonker there. I'm going to put my coffee cup back down. Do I need to use that wash for anything else? I don't... oh, we could do it for some of these bits hanging down, I suppose. These sort of rivety bits, chainy bits. Linky bits. I almost, just naturally, stuck my tongue out of my mouth then and licked my nose. In fact, I will. There we go, sorted. Had a little bit of a runny nose issue. I don't have any tissue. Oh, I do have tissue to hand to sort it. But that's normally my dry brush tissue, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any dry brush on this stream. So I'll just take the back of it and sort that issue there. So yes, let's crack on. I think with these black armour panels, I'm tempted to paint some checks. Some red checks on the shoulder pad maybe, or maybe on the back here. I might do it on the back. Some red checks on these black armor panels here on the back. I'm not entirely sure yet, because I do like all this black armor. I'll be honest, I really like all that black armor. So what I'll do is edge highlight the black armor with a metallic to make it look like it's chipped and bashed and whatnot. Perhaps pick out at least one of the armor panels with red. And yeah, there's not an awful lot more I want to do on this Warboss miniature, if I'm honest. It's just a kind of, just a case now of getting the basing situation right. I'm just going to drill a hole in this base. I don't know. I want a stud near the front. I don't know which orientation I want this in, so I'm just going to test out this base. I think Steve-O changed his page to the 40k Orc community page, so you may have joined Steve-O's before the name change. Right, okay. Yeah, I think you're right there, because Steve-O wasn't really... I think he felt like he wasn't utilising the Facebook page as 6+ Steve-O, so he thought, we'll just repurpose this page, make it the 40k Orc community, and we'll do it all under one banner kind of a deal. Yeah, so I'm not going to do all of the... Right, is that going to be... Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think that'd be roughly good, so if I put that roughly like over here somewhere. So like I said, she's going to be very far forward on this base, but I'm looking for a dual purpose use potentially to this miniature. So this is also going to be mounted on a Deathkiller Wartrike conversion. So I won't always be having her on this base. So that's cool with me if I just plonk her down there. And what I could do even is put a magnet in this foot. I've got a pin in the other foot, so I'll drill a pin in there. I drill a hole in there, roughly. And then I can always pivot the miniature for when I want to use it on this base, so it looks like just a Warboss on that base by itself. So roughly I need to drill a hole about there. So I need to remember that for a second. Immersive World Crafter! Welcome to the stream, my friend. Pleasure to have you here, as always. Was the 40k Orc community, Steve-O, Scarnet, and Dread's Facebook groups all joined together? I think Dread's group, I don't think he... Essentially, that's what happened, but I don't think you can literally join groups together like that. So I don't think... I think Dread just kind of stopped using his page, or maybe even took it down. I'm not entirely sure. Good morning, Dan. Hello, chat. Very, very polite this morning, Immersive. Not that you're not normally. Essex boys, G the hype. Hey, Big Kev Crafter. I thought Scarnet made the page. Pretty sure it says made by Plastic. It may well be then. Not entirely sure myself. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's a fun place to be. And that's the important thing. So let's not dwell on it any longer. I mean, you can if you want, because the more you type in chat, the more it seems like people are interested in this video. Right, so we're looking at... So, if you're wondering what these Gearguts bosses look like on a 60mm base, this is what they look like. It looks like a little big, but a 60mm base is what the AOS Warboss is on, and this is at least as big as that AOS Warboss. You know, the Iron Boss. It's a gorgeous looking miniature. So really, a 60mm base, I actually like that on that size base. Not going to lie. So what I'm thinking is, I might well put a magnet in that foot, in her left foot. Might well put a magnet in that foot, place a magnet in the base there, place a magnet in the base there. So when I'm displaying the miniature, and perhaps even into battle sometimes, I'll have Orky stood here, and I'll have B following behind. About here. Something like that. So, I wish that'd stick. Needs more ooh ears. To be fair, you're not wrong. Because we all know Orky loves her ooh ears as well. On occasion. But we got B to make that ooh aesthetic. And there we go. She's playing a game, following her into battle without even realising. She's had a bit of a jump scare, so she's leaping up into the air. as she spotted Balloon Boy coming to kill her. Fantastic stuff. There we go. I think we'll all agree it's fantastic stuff. So we've got a better idea of how the base is going to shape up now. I'm still not convinced I'm going to use that base because I'm waiting for one from Warmaster's Forge. I need to message him actually, because I forgot to ask him for a timescale on when my products were going to be ready. I've ordered a number of things from him. We don't want to put that back on there yet, do we? I've ordered some of the Beast Riders from Bulwark Gaming. Warmaster's Forge is a licensed seller for Bulwark Gaming products. So I've ordered some of them, and I've also ordered 5 different bases, I think, or maybe a few more actually as well, because I'm going to do a conversion for a Head Smasher, Squig, and Knob. So I've ordered a base for that, and I think I've ordered 5 Warboss or 60mm bases, basically roughly this size of base for the Gearguts Warbosses that I'm going to be working on over the coming months. Looks amazing. Going to be so good. Oh, thank you very much. I sort of struggled with that sentence there. I was like, going to be... I didn't know if you were saying something about B or saying... so I just kind of read it in a really odd way. Not to worry. Let's not dwell on it. Right. We need now... so I've gone for this sort of rusted look on the spanner and on the stabber, the shank, the shiv. But I'm going to go for a darker, grimier look on... other parts of metalwork. So I'm going to grab as Orkie herself says, the nun oil made from freshly squeezed nuns. I'm going to grab some of that, and I'm going to grab some Agrat Surshade, mix them on the palette, and let's get slapping them onto the miniature on the other areas. Dread changed his page to I Love Space Marines and abandoned it. Skarner kept Plastic Crack Gaming. Maybe Steve-O never had a page. I probably got that part wrong. Yeah, it may well be the case, yeah. I think wasn't the reason they set up the 40k community. Steve-O was considering setting up his own page, and then he thought we're just sort of diluting the community a bit here. So then they sort of had a word, because Steve-O and Scar were doing Two Bald Knobs at the time and stuff. They did another episode of that, first in 4 months, the other day, so make sure you check out that video. Yeah, so they sort of made the joint decision to make it into a 40k community page, I think. Oh, I've got an itchy elbow. Very exciting for you to learn, I'm sure. Had some African cuisine yesterday. Had some... Here's the thing for you. Jollof rice, different wherever you get it from. I think jollof rice is a common... like... I've done it again. I've snapped off one of B's ears. I need to put that somewhere I'll remember to reattach it. I'll put it on my base there and hopefully not touch that base for a bit. I did that the other day. Yeah, so jollof rice is like a rice dish, a fried rice dish, I think, with like tomatoes and flavouring, and I say flavouring like spice and stuff like that in it. Not like super spicy or anything. But yeah, I think it's different wherever you get it from. And I think it's just because jollof rice is a common thing in a number of African countries and a number of regions of Africa. But the one I had yesterday was completely different to the last one I had. In that it didn't really have any like whole vegetables in. The last one I had like whole cherry tomatoes in and stuff like that. But this one didn't. So I was surprised. But they also had a dish called fried rice, which was what I would say was jollof rice that I've had in the past. Please give thanks to Sister Patricia, Sister Bernadette, Sister Mary for their contributions to the stream's non-oil. Indeed. Let's not forget to thank them. How many bot comments are people getting now about people... I've just had one flash up on my computer there. About go and try watching movies on this... at this place, like... and they give you an address to go watch movies on. It's really starting to irritate me. Normally I get a notification when it's on someone else, when it's on a comment I've put on someone else's channel. But the thing I'm a little bit worried about is I immediately report it as spam, yeah? But then if YouTube essentially see my comment then as spam because I'm reporting a reply to my comment, then YouTube may well end up coming down on me. Really irritating. And it's slightly worrying. Hey, at the end of the day, if it happened, I'd just start up a new channel. If it happened and they came down on me and they, you know, without even looking into it properly, they shut down my channel because they thought I was the one spamming, then I'd just have to start a new channel. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But, yeah, it's just a bit frustrating. That bot is everywhere. It is indeed. New merch design is ready to drop, G. Nice one. Have you got a link for it, mate? Do you want to send it me on Facebook and we'll take a look at it? I don't wear many hobby clothes outside of streams and stuff. But I'd like to take a look at it, for sure. In case anyone in the chat wants to pick up some of this Hyper Sapien wear merch. Oh, it's not an Orky one this time. Interesting. What is it then if it's not Orky? Is it Dorky? If it's not Orky, it's Dorky. I lost my first game of Ninth yesterday. A lot of people have been getting the first games of Ninth in finally. I know Loner in the Crowd, one of my mods from Twitch and YouTube. He played a game of Ninth yesterday. Fantastic stuff. To hear of people playing these games. Marcos has played a game yesterday. Who else have I seen recently that's played a game yesterday? Someone else, I can't remember who. But yeah, there's a lot of people at the moment finally getting those games in, which is great to hear. Two bald knobs link there in the chat as well from Essex Boys. I've just spotted that. Thank you. Something that represents me in a way, and at this moment in life to mark what happened recently, right? A little bit more Agrax. A little bit more nun oil. Just need that little bit more to finish this chain off. Oh, I'm accidentally splashing it all over the shoulder pad there, but not to worry. I feel like I need a smaller brush for this. I find myself more and more just going for the biggest brush I can find. I think it's partly because I'm becoming more confident as a painter. And partly because I've sort of freed myself up as a painter. You know, I don't hold myself to a high standard or anything. And that's in a way because I know if I want to meet my 365 challenge, if you don't know, just in case you don't know, I'm attempting to paint 365 miniatures this year. To some people that'd be easy. You know, they could do it without even trying. But to me, that's crazy. Because I've painted more miniatures this year already than I probably have in the rest of my life. That's 130. Now, I have been in the hobby on and off since the age of about 12, so 24 years now. But I've just not really ever finished miniatures before. I've finished the occasional miniature before, but what I tend to do is start a miniature and put it to one side and leave it for a bit. But yeah, recently I've been more determined to try and get miniatures finished and whatnot. And I'm really enjoying the challenge this year. And the new approach I've taken as a result of the challenge to mini painting. Now this miniature I've been painting since like last Monday or something. Or last weekend at least. But a lot of the time, a nice one, G, I'll have a look at them in a sec. A lot of the time I'll I'm assuming I'm okay. Just let me know in the chat. I'm assuming I'm okay to show it on stream. A lot of the time, I'm sort of bashing through 8 miniatures, 10 miniatures in one hit over, you know, a couple of day period. So it's sort of it's making me really make different decisions on painting miniatures than I was doing. Just dropping a little bit of this in here just to see if that looks any different when I do it. It's making me make decisions, painting decisions differently to how I would have made those decisions in the past. So I would have basically done stuff like put off making the decisions because I don't have to finish this miniature anytime soon. I just kind of want to get it done at some point. But yeah, more recently I've been more like, well, it's got to get painted. Let's slap some paint on it. And I don't dwell on things as much. But yeah, certain miniatures like this I take a bit more time with. I spend a bit, you know, have a bit more care on the way I paint them. But yeah, it's interesting how my approach to miniature painting has changed based on my 365 challenge that I'm doing. Who were you playing, Marcos? I played against a friend in Texas. He was using Harlequins. Harlequins are a tough list, though, aren't they? I mean, you can build some tough lists with Harlequins. I find, not I find, but I feel like competitive lists tend to spam. And with Harlequins, spam a certain effective unit. And with Harlequins, you can only spam because there are a limited number of units. There are like 5 different units you can use. Let's get the characters out of the way first. There's the Death Jester. There's the sidekick one. Can't remember its name. There's the Grandmaster, I think. And then there's after that there's the troops. There's the Skyweavers, the Void Weavers, and I think maybe there's 2 variants of the troop carrying thing. But so there's about 7 units maximum for Harlequins, or 8 perhaps if you take into account the miniature that came with the Sisters miniature. But yeah, there's only about 8 units for Harlequins, so you can only really spam with a Harlequins army. And a lot of competitive lists involve a lot of spamming, so I feel like if some of those units are effective, which they kind of have to be, otherwise no one would play the army, then they're always going to have hard lists or tricky lists to play against at the time. Yeah, it's fine. Right, we'll have a look at that now. Cheers, G. I need to open my Facebook first on Shah. Where is Facebook? It is not there. FaceCB. Oh, sick, mate. Right, so just crack these up. One thing I will say, slight trigger warning here. JR Blazing Arrow, welcome to the stream, mate. Pleasure to have you here. I'm just going to take a look at some, so it's a warning to anyone in the chat, just going to take a look at some designs from Hyper Sapienware. And one of them has a clown on, so if you have any weirdness about clowns, if you have a phobia of clowns or anything like that, you might want to switch off for the next 30 seconds, minute or so. I won't stick on it too long because I know some people don't like clowns. I myself think that I don't think it's very gory. I think it's just some people don't like clowns. That's the only reason I'm slaying slight trigger warning. Although I've not had a look at the second image yet. I just got the clown one up. But yeah, slight trigger warning, potential gore, and clowns going to be on screen for the next minute or so. So it's coming up right now. Not right now, you know. We've still got this up now. But it's coming up in a second. Trust me. I thought I had a big cut on my head then, but I don't. It's okay. It's okay. Oh no, I've got to get that open, haven't I? Idiot. Click on there. That's not working. Bear with me. Where is it? Oh no, my screen share is not working. Whoopsie. Few technical issues here, guys. Let me go back to that. There we go. Right. So here's one of the things. I don't mind clowns. I think this is a particularly nice looking clown as well. Yeah, massive machete with a slasher clown look to it. Hyper Sapien wear with all those balloons in the background. Lovely colouring on this one. Lovely colouring. A lot of yellow, a lot of happiness. A lot of happiness going on in here. Also, a lot of conflict by the looks of it. That's what I'm getting from this. Yeah, a murderous clown. I mean, there's not much more to say than it's a murderous clown. Let's go along to the next image and see what it is together. Oh, this one is an orc-related one. Hyper Sapien wear. It looks like a sort of a Mongol-style orc. Not really Mongol, actually. More Viking, perhaps, because of the two axes. I immediately thought Mongol because of the just like the hair and the vibe I was getting. But yeah, really nice, G, really nice. And almost looks like a, not Mongol actually, more like a, possibly like Japanese kind of deal. Samurai perhaps. These shoulder pads almost look like that ablative samurai armor that we've seen throughout history. But yeah, looking good, G, looking good, mate. Pleasure to show them off on stream. I will go back to the opening stream by accident. I meant to go to the desk down. Ooh, there we go. Right, let's get the chat back open so I can see what people are thinking about those designs. Ooh. I love clowns. Yeah, a lot of people like clowns. We need circus music. There you go. Ta-da! Now, well said. I do like my top knots. Thanks very much. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries at all. They look cool, mate. So are they going to be available on a number of options? So you're going to be able to have them on shirts, stickers, mugs, all that kind of stuff, I assume. One thing I do like about that people do for a hobby is mugs, because I always use mugs. But I don't want too many mugs filling my cupboard, so I just buy them every now and again. I think, oh, I'll get a mug from this channel, I'll get a mug from that channel. And then I'll show it off on the next few streams. The Orc is already up on store. Yeah, he's on all that stuff. Nice one. Awesome stuff. Right, so I'm liking the way, so far, I'm liking the way this wash on the hand is drying. And it's different to this wash. So this wash is like a rusted Agrax / Fugan orange wash. And this is a Nuln Oil and Agrax wash there. To make it look like it's oiled, but it's also dirty. I'm liking the way it's drying and it's looking different. I think, to be honest, I think I might have to leave it there for now. Don't think there's a lot more. One thing I'm going to do before I go. One thing I'm going to do is just take the Tesseract Glow, like I said, and just try and... Oh no. Just noticed a really weird situation on the eyebrow there. I've got black there somehow. I don't know where that's come from. Yeah, but anyway, if you were here at the start of the stream, you may remember I said... This is Tesseract Glow, this is not Tesseract Glow. This is me doing my best to colour match the Tesseract Glow, and this as well. So one thing I'm going to do just to tie those three together is just add Tesseract Glow around here and onto the Orc head there, and hopefully it'll bring it in a little bit closer to that Tesseract Glow. I mean, it's pretty close already. I'm pretty pleased with the colour matching I did. That's one thing I like to, or not I like to, but one thing I don't typically do is write down colour recipes. And I don't mind that because I almost enjoy the challenge of trying to match a colour. And you can get away with it with a faction like Orcs, in my mind. And even with a faction like Space Marines as well. Because if a Space Marine chapter or a Legion is out on campaign, they're not always going to have access to the same pigments to repaint their armour. So, in my mind at least, having slightly different shades of red on Thousand Suns armor is okay. And I think Forge World even said that, like Forge World and GW. So GW, when they painted their Thousand Suns for the Burning of Prospero game, they painted them in matte red, so no reflective quality on the red at all whatsoever. But Forge World paint their Thousand Suns in a metallic red, so a shiny red basically, and the two were different. And the reason they came up with, I remember reading it either in a Warhammer community article or more likely White Dwarf or something like that. They basically said that sort of thing, like pigment, they're not going to be able to get hold of the same pigments in one part of the galaxy as they are to another. So that means the armor, the tone of the armor might be different in different, what do they call them? Different cabals kind of thing, different parts of, I can't remember what they call them in Thousand Suns, but basically different parts of the Legion. Different chapters, you can say, but they're not actually chapters in Thousand Suns, although effectively that's what it is, a chapter. So that's the reason GW came up with, and I actually really like that reason. I think it's a really sensible reason to paint your guys differently to the way a mate of yours paints you guys, if you prefer one look over the other. Essex Boys asking, did you design the stuff yourself, G? And G responding with, I had a part in design, but I didn't make it. I am an artist, but I don't do digital stuff. I need to fix my laptop, and maybe I can try making some designs myself. But I work with the artist to get them how I want them. Nice one. That collaborative process is a really interesting thing. It's something I've not done, and to be fair, it's something Gearguts does when he's designing these Warboss miniatures for, like Steve-O was saying earlier. Steve-O came up with the idea for the shooter leg on the Roxy miniature in the Orc 40k community Discord. So this shooter leg here wouldn't have happened unless there was that collaborative process going on between artist and subject and friends. So really interesting things that you might not have thought of yourself can come out of that kind of collaborative process, can't they? But it's good to see it's working for you like that, G, mate. You haven't shared your clown yet either? What's your clown, Marcos? Is it a miniature? I might just go in and touch up those headphones as well, because I feel like that's a little bit brighter than the headphones now. Yeah, I want to see if I can get miniatures made for the designs I have. Awesome stuff. Have you spoken to Kyle by any chance? Good old Tesseract Glow, exactly. Some might call it a miniature. Is it a toy of some sort? A dummy, maybe? Because I think Kyle is looking at setting up affiliate links with the Warbosses. He becomes part of like an affiliate program where they can promote his stuff, promote Gearguts Mekshop and all that kind of stuff. It may be worth reaching out to him if you've not already done so. It depends what kind of if you think he can come up with something that will suit will be able to match your style of art and the art you collaborate with, the artist you collaborate with, and if he can match that and realize it in 3D, then it may well work out. Are you going to get a Warboss miniature yourself from Gearguts? I've not spoken to him about it. A few weeks ago, I was like, no, I don't think so. But I'm sort of more open to the idea now. I think I'm slowly coming around to the idea. We've not spoken about it, but it was in my chat on Twitch the other day while he was talking about the affiliate setup he was sort of going. So I think maybe he's open to the idea, but I'm not entirely sure yet because I wanna build my Warboss. I want to finish the kit bash I was doing for my Warboss. Arcadius, welcome to the stream and modelling for advantage. Of course, you are always very welcome in this stream. Talking about you a little bit earlier when Wargaming with Gary popped in, and how seeing other channels cover stuff that I don't partake in myself. It often leads to a bit of temptation, you know. Should I grab some World War II miniatures, for example, or should I grab some Roman miniatures, something like that, you know, through the different eras of battle history. One thing that did pique my interest was when you had the fella on a little while back, the young fella. I say young fella, he looked like a young fella, he might not have been, but he covers War of the Roses, and that sort of piqued my interest at the time as well, because you mentioned Lord Percy at one point, the whatever Earl of Northumberland, and you mentioned the Percys and how they switch side between. I may have spoken about this on previous streams as well. I think I probably have, but my grandma's a Percy. So I'm part of that family. So yeah, the treacherous Percys switching sides. You could say treacherous. You could also say the thinking Percys switching sides back and forth, trying to back that winning side and stay alive. Do it, mate. Give me your postal address and I'll send you a sprue. No way. First one is free and all that. Like all addictions. I'll have a think, mate. I'll have a think. Yeah. Because sometimes it's nice just for a change of pace. Even if, like, to be honest, most of my models, Warhammer or otherwise, sit on the shelf because I've got more models than I could ever play with. So, having a little break and a little different challenge of painting up something different, something historical. And I think you were saying on the stream the other night as well. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it the next day. I think you were saying some people in historicals obsess over a particular colour for uniforms and a particular, try to get that particular shade of green for the camo that a certain nation used. But I wouldn't be that serious about it. I'd be more like, yeah, let's just pick this colour. That looks like a nice colour to me. I'd be more like that. I think you were saying like you're kind of a little bit like that. You paint your miniatures a colour that you think's appropriate and that looks good on the miniature. It might have been last week's stream actually when you were talking. Yeah, I remember now. You were talking about the webbing on a particular miniature. It might have been last week or the week before. You were talking about the webbing on a particular miniature, and saying you asked the chat if it looked better in the lighter colour or the darker colour. The darker colour was more accurate, but the lighter colour popped better on the table. And yeah, I think that's when I'm remembering it from actually. Seriously, the most treacherous family in UK history, I think. Yeah, absolutely. But that's how you stay alive, isn't it? So, loving the shirt, mister. Thank you very much, Zool. Thank you. Pleasure to have you here, as always. We can take another close-up look at this shirt now. And I can do my little hula girl dance for you again. I mean, I don't quite fit in shot because I am a big mech after all. But when I'm doing my little dance, I do things like knock my mic. But yeah. We've got the hula skirt, the grass skirt, hula girl dance. I think she's got like a little. Oh no, she's not actually. I thought in some of the little images she had a little ukulele, but she doesn't. I have a little ukulele somewhere. It's in the other room. I'm not going to play it for you because I can't really play it. But I do intend to learn at some point. Realism versus looking good on the tabletop. Yeah, it's something I think people obsess over, and it's fine if that's the way you enjoy the hobby, because you want to create accurate representations of what forces would have looked like. But at the end of the day, forces weren't this big either, were they? So it's like drilling your barrels in 40k. there's an issue with drilling your barrels. Some people obsess over that. It's like, you got to drill that barrel. You got to drill it. How's he going to shoot his little plastic bullets? He's not really got little plastic bullets. That's the way I see it. So, if you don't drill the barrel, it's not the end of the world. Howdy, Bazza from Underdog Painting. Welcome to the stream, mate. This stream is really starting to pick up now. I should really consider starting these streams later, shouldn't I? I started at 7 today. We've got like 14 viewers at the moment. It's like, whoa, everybody's getting up. Everybody's joining in with the stream. But yeah, I started at 7 today because I woke up at 6. I started at 5 past 7-ish. So I woke up at 6 and I thought to myself, or just before 6, I thought to myself, if it's before 6, before I looked at my alarm on my phone, this is, if it's before 6, I'll get up and start streaming at 7. So I did, essentially. That's a cool story for you to start the day, wasn't it? Yeah, British webbing, really agonised because I know the best looking one was straight up wrong, but I went for it anyway. Sometimes you've got to make those decisions, haven't you? Because you're going to be looking at it from that, 2-3 feet distance on the tabletop. And if it looks good at that distance, you can see the webbing and everything, rather than just a sort of vague, natural coloured thing, like greens and browns and stuff. Then I think it's better to pick out those things with a different colour. Our brother Mythos, is. You do you, yeah. Our brother Mythos shows us the way on this. You do you. Exactly. Coffee number 2 finished. Should we take a look at this miniature again? I'm agonising a bit on some colour choices myself on this miniature. So let's. I'm not fretting about it too much. I'm just waiting for a base really now for this miniature. So. But I'm tempted. I don't want to move this base because I've got a little uwu ear there that I don't want to lose. I should really have made some better uwu ears from the Be the Little Mermaid uwu orc. So this is Be the Little Mermaid, a friend of Letsmakeitorkie. She likes playing video games. There's a screen on Orkie's back. Oh look, it's got a video game on it. That's a video game called Five Nights at Freddy's. I know if you've been around for this whole stream, I've already told you that a million times. But I like to reiterate the point when new people come to the stream. So yeah, the miniature now. I need to sort that mess out on the eyebrow there. I don't know when or where I've got that black on there. It must have been a bit of the wash or something like that. Oh no, it'll have been when I was painting that the other night. Actually, I was painting that spike. Yes, that's when it'll be. Not to worry. But I think I'm going to add some Nihilak oxide to the sort of bronzy canister or whatever on the back. The custom force field bit on the back. If I can find my Nihilak oxide. Is it called Nihilak oxide? I think it's Nihilak Dynasty Necrons it's from, isn't it? I don't think I can find any Nihilak oxide, so I may have to improvise. Which, as we all know by now, I like to improvise now and again. And colour match as best I can. So I didn't have... I'm not even going to talk about that. Because I've literally just spoken about it. I'll talk about it very briefly again. Very briefly. I didn't have the Tesseract Glow when I went to my friend's the other day. So I had to improvise and colour match the green around the rims there and the green on the skull on the chest plate. And I think I did an alright job of it. But I've just reinforced that green with the Tesseract Glow layer over the top as well. Yeah, I don't know where my Nihilak oxide's gone. We can improvise though, like I said. Get a bit of that. Morning! The Hobby Corner. That was a long wah, Kev. Well done, mate. Well done. Can't believe you can hold your breath for that long. Or slowly release your breath over that longer period. I didn't think you had the lung capacity, mate. I'll be honest. I know I can. I'm a talented man, though, aren't I? Did anyone see the Warhammer Twitch stream yesterday? Thoughts on Warhammer Plus? Well, I hope Warhammer Plus is tied in with something else myself. Yeah, because I hope it's tied in with, say, something that I'm already subscribed to or something I already have access to, like Prime, or with it being a Plus, people are saying they think it's going to be in collaboration with Disney, which I'd be absolutely fine with because Disney are looking for more content to put onto their streaming service. Also, the 7 minutes of Angels of Death that we saw looked really nice in my opinion. It looks like the story's potentially going to be a story of conflict amongst brothers, as in like loyalties, sort of split loyalties. I'll give you a brief synopsis of the scene that we saw. But if you want to see it yourself, go and check out yesterday's Warhammer TV Twitch stream. But a brief synopsis of the scene that we saw was a brother. We saw a couple of scenes. We saw a guy in Terminator armor fighting some gene stealers. Then we went on. I didn't know how much to say there, but yeah, well, we'll just leave it at that. Then we saw a brother returned from the Death Watch. A Blood Angel's brother returned from the Death Watch, praying by the looks of it. Praying, sort of. It looked like he was battling with the inner demons and sort of trying to stave off the Black Rage. Is it the Black Rage? I think it's the Black Rage that the Blood Angels get when they get visions of Sanguinius and stuff like that. It looked like that to me, but that's just my interpretation. And then there's a chaplain that's stood in the background, and he completes the prayer that the brother's saying. And then they have a bit of a discourse between the two, but there's a bit of, it feels like there's a bit of animosity between the two. So it looks like it's going to be like a nice, pardon me, a nice little fleshed out, rich sort of series potentially. So it could be morning again, Zool. I'm just going over the video I was watching yesterday when I was visiting you, and when I went away out of the room to watch this video. So yeah, I was impressed with the video. It seems like if they really do, it's hard to judge off a couple of scenes, but it seems like it's going to be a rich, fleshed out series that Angels of Death. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I imagine it'll be about 6 episodes or something like that. But yeah, I'd hope it's on something that already exists, so I don't have to subscribe online to Warhammer Plus just to watch that. I need to cancel my Warhammer app subscription actually, because the app doesn't open on my phone. It comes up with a loading screen and then just leaves it there for ages. Yeah, so it's a little bit frustrating that. Oh, this might be a bit too light. I might need to mix in a bit of Apothecary White, perhaps. Doesn't seem to be doing anything, I've just realised. Wow. How you feeling after your loss last night, Kev? Oh, Kev lost all dignity, I think, perhaps. Japanese Turbo. What's Japanese Turbo? You still coming on my stream this week, mate? Oh, wouldn't miss it. Excellent stuff. I didn't realise you were on this week, Kev. Excellent stuff. Throw me a PM when you can. How are you feeling after your loss last night? Yeah, the animation looks great. One thing I'd say is I hope there's a slight syncing issue, I think, with the animation. I feel like that's probably too rich. So the voice and the animation didn't always seem to match up for me, and I've watched a couple of bits. Actually, I think I watched the whole thing again this morning in bed. And it doesn't seem to quite match up, the animation and the voice, so I hope they tweak that slightly and just, or it doesn't happen in all scenes. But it's coming in 2 months, that Blood Angels. It's coming in July, Angels of Death animation. So I don't know if they'd have time to sort of retweak it really, or if they think that'd be time worth spending on it. I'm messing this up at the moment. Not to worry though. Oh, Kev lost Eurovision. Bad times. Bad times, Kev. I do, commiserate with you. I didn't watch Eurovision myself. I'm not a fan of it normally. I am a fan of one of the entrants in the Iceland. Oh, big news as well. Me and Tis Only Zool and a few friends of mine are going to go see Daddy Freyr next year when they come and play in Manchester. So that's big news for us. Nil point. Oh, it was Kev Thingy. I don't know if UK got nil point, James Newman. But is that who you're referring to? I don't know. You know what I like though? I only saw a tiny clip of it. I quite like the German entry. Although some people that I know from previous jobs and stuff were slagging that entry off on Facebook. Although I quite liked it from what I saw of it. The entry that won felt like they were trying to be Aerosmith. I think they were the ones that felt like they were trying to be Aerosmith. I've only seen like little snippets of each of a few songs. I came in too late last night when I got back from my friend's house, and I saw a few snippets of each song. It's a shame Iceland couldn't perform live on the night because one of them had COVID, or maybe two of them had COVID actually, so they were isolating at the hotel, the whole band. Pickle Jar liked Germany. Malta was good too. I haven't had a chance to play my Death Guard yet. Death Guard in Eurovision? I'm just reading random comments now in the chat. I got my first game in with Death Guard this week. Plague Marines are so good now. Papa Nurgle is blessed. Awesome stuff. Well, I've got some Death Guard miniatures, so it'd be nice to roll some dice on the tabletop at some point with them, or another. Yeah, this isn't really working. This I was hoping this would give me a nice sort of bluey wash, but I feel like I should have gone with a bit of apothecary white first or something, perhaps. I can't speak for the wider codex, but the Plague Marines in particular have gone from junk to heroes. Awesome stuff. Italy won. They were good, so not upset. Yeah, they seemed alright. They seemed a little bit like Aerosmith to me. There was a lot of from just watching the clips where they were trying to get you to vote. It seemed like there was quite a few sort of rocky entries this year. Finland had like a rocky entry, didn't they, as well? I actually don't mind the UK's song. I've heard it a lot, and I think it was better than the one they were going to enter for last year, before it got cancelled. Last year it was like they were trying hard to make an anthemic song, like to make an anthem. This year it felt like they were trying less hard. But is it the UK that you're talking about when you're saying he looks like Kev? Because if that got nil point, then it just goes to show what a joke Eurovision is, because that is definitely not worth nil point. It's like a popularity contest, and it has been for years. I've said it, but yeah, it definitely didn't deserve nil point. I don't know why I'm using this brush either. I'll have to read the read an article on it or something. I don't expect you to inform me in the chat at this moment. Has everybody watched the film Eurovision as well? Because that is actually, I think it's a good film, an enjoyable film, but also even if you don't like Eurovision, I don't particularly like Eurovision. It's on Netflix, the film. It's Will Ferrell. is the writer and star of it. And I think it's a good film, like pretty, you know, reasonably entertaining. And it encaptures the feel of Eurovision for me. I thought it was very well done. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Eurovision, I find it a bit boring and a bit like, because most of the music I don't like. And then when they try to get people to vote, there's just too much time of repeating little clips of the music, and then I just find it a bit irritating, really. Yeah, the movie's good. The movie is the best. Total emotional roller coaster. If it makes your day, Pickle, then sure, I look exactly like him. Yeah. Right. Enough Eurovision chat. I mean, we can talk about it all you want. But, so that Nyla Oxide replacement didn't really work. It just looks a bit oily and greasy and drippy there, doesn't it now? What I might do off stream is touch up the blacks, and I need to sort that out because that's bugging me. Let's get... No, I've just put bleeding water on it, or residue of a wash on it. Oh, what's that? Swizz is live. Ya Ya Ding Dong is the best. A lot of people are big fans of Ya Ya Ding Dong. Ya Ya Ding Dong. Daddy Freya did a cover of that, I think, as well. They were this year's Icelandic entrants, and they, like I said earlier, I was a fan of them. I was a fan. I'll tell you what we might do before we go. Let's just get some Wildwood. I was going to address that issue on the eyebrow, but I'll do that off stream because it might take some concentration. We're going to get some Wildwood, and we're going to paint these stitches up. How hard is it to paint stitches? Shouldn't be this hard. I'm making it look a lot harder than I think it actually is. It looks like I've got no paint on them. Never really watched Eurovision. Yeah, me neither. Like I don't. I remember over the years. I remember a few songs from past years when it was on, like in the daytime once when I was really young, about 8 or 9 something maybe. And there was this song, and I think it was the Italian entry. And I just remember, and this has always stuck in my head. It sounded like the dude was singing "Mama Smoke Cigar." Mama smoke cigar, but I don't know what he was singing, and I think it was an Italian entry, and I don't know the name of the song unfortunately, so I can't give you the thingy to Google it. If there's any Eurovision experts out there and you recognise what song that might be, it'd be probably from around 1992, let's say, because I could have been like 7. So let's say from about 1992 to maybe anything up to 97. So over a 5-year period. I think it was an Italian entry. And it sounded like he was singing Mama Smoke Cigar. So if you want to inform chat on what you think that song might be, feel free. Just so they can see how right I am about that sounding like Mama Smoke Cigar. I think I'm done with my pain, boy. Thanks for keeping me company late night. No worries, mate. Fantastic stuff. Looking forward to seeing it. Issy Me is such a good song and kind of sad right now. as the EU seems to be an experiment abandoned by everyone. I don't know what Issimi is. Issimi. Right, well, I think we're pretty much done for the stream, if not the miniature. Like I said on my stream on Friday, I think I showed you, I'm going to be having this as a dual purpose miniature. It's going to be mounted on the back of a war trike, but also on a base of its own. So I can run it as a warboss or a mech, or I can run it as like a warboss on war trike. A death killer war trike. So yeah, it's going to be. I might well end up using this base instead of waiting for the one from Warmaster. But yeah, I just need to touch up the metalworks on certain areas to make it look shiny and like it's well looked after, even though it's slightly rusted and corroded. I need to find I feel like I need to find my Nihilak Oxide to sort of make that dirty up the bronzy, brassy bit on the back there. And touch up a few areas here and there. I need to sort out that eyebrow. But for the time being, I'm going to be doing some shopping. That's a very orky Bane Orc. It's based on Letsmakeitorkie. That's hence the title of the video, painting Gearguts Mekshop's Warboss Letsmakeitorkie. It's based on my Twitch streaming friend Letsmakeitorkie, and I've really enjoyed painting it, to be honest. I've even done some freehands on it of a computer game there, and I've got a little pal for her to follow her into battle and use this shooter as the Warboss's shooter. So, thank you very much to everyone who's joined me. I want to say a special thank you as well to Eisenhorn. Nobody expected the Inquisition, but Eisenhorn popped in earlier and donated in a super chat a whopping £5 British. So, again, thank you, Eisenhorn. Been a pleasure to stream with you all this morning. Thank you very much, Essex boys. I appreciate that. Pleasure to stream with you all this morning. And... yeah, let's hope we have another pleasant one tomorrow. I'm in work tomorrow, and I'm on something that shouldn't keep me out any longer than expected. I've got my COVID jab on Tuesday as well, so that's going to be interesting to see if it has an adverse effect on me. But I'm sure I'll be all right by the Friday to stream, even if it does have an adverse effect on me over the days following my jab. But yeah, let's look forward to the... need to get rid of that there. It's bugging me. Let's look forward to the next stream on Monday. And take care, everybody. Have a pleasant Sunday if your Sunday's just starting. Get some sleep if you're over in the States. You crazy kids staying up this late to watch me. And you Australian chaps, enjoy your tea. Enjoy your evening meal. Throw another shrimp on the barbie for me. Pleasure to have you all here again as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can help support the channel in a number of ways, like Eisenhorn did earlier in the chat with a super chat. I don't expect anybody to donate to the channel though. If you've not got any spare cash, even if you have got spare cash, I don't expect you to donate to the channel. It's just really nice when people do, because it's all going to go into the channel, improving the content, improving the streams, hopefully, improving my lighting setup. I've got an okay lighting setup at the minute, but I still need to tweak a few things here and there. But I'm looking at getting either upgrading my PC or getting a more dedicated PC for streaming, and potentially new cameras and stuff like that in the future as well. Thank you very much for all the support. You can donate in Super Chat, Patreon, or you can subscribe to me on Twitch as well. I really do appreciate the support I get from the community. And I guess I'll leave it there, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Wahey!